What's up, guys?
Insane Clown Posse is making their way in. What's going on, man?
Hey, what's
How you
good,
doing?
Good to see you. Good to see you.
Yeah, it's good to see you guys.
Yeah, we were very bummed. We didn't think we were going to get to talk to you guys. I'm like, I love these guys.
Yeah, they're like, oh, you want to do Jim Norton show? We're like, fuck yeah, you crazy.
So we appreciate you guys coming in. You just talking to Macklemore outside. Do you guys know him, or is this the first meeting?
That was the first time. We don't know any stars like that. Like, you know what I'm saying?
we don't rub elbows with celebs. You know what I'm saying?
Are you done with the celebrity and rap beef days?
No, I mean, if you would have said something, you'd have seen something.
Right, yeah. I mean, you might see Macklemore get beat up outside that window.
Is it weird when you meet people who like you might not have been inclined to like before, and they know you and like your stuff? Isn't it immediately like it's harder to hate them once they're like, oh, I'm a fan, or I
Big
like
time.
Yeah,
Instantly.
I mean, yeah, exactly. Because, like, you know what I'm saying? If you hate somebody personally, you can't really listen to their music and dig it because you don't like that person.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But sometimes it goes the other way. You know, Macklemore was cool. He said hi. I mean, that's all we did.
He didn't say nothing about liking us, but I'll tell you this. Usually if somebody does say that, they're usually the kind of person we are anyway. You know what I mean? So we're usually already like them. You know what I mean? So we don't usually get that. You know, like we're never, I can't think of any circumstances that somebody has said they like our music and we've been surprised by that. Can you?
No.
I'm always shocked if somebody likes me. I'm like, you try to play it cool, like, oh, thank you, but then you're like, that fucking person knows. It's a bizarre thing. But you guys have you can take the makeup off and kind of live in peace, right? A lot of times without.
So.
The fans will recognize you.
Yeah, I mean, you still get it here and there, you know what I'm saying? But I'm sure not as bad as Macklemore does trying to walk down the street, you know?
Yeah. I just looked. I didn't even know that was him. Like, that's Macklemore.
Yeah,
like
but
the
he's
guy
also
in the blue jacket.
He's also walking around in a bright turquoise jacket.
It says Macklemore.
4 extra letters blinking in the back, you know?
So I don't think he minds it too much.
Blinking in the back.
Are you guys surprised at like the culture that you've created and how people respond to it now? Because it's almost like, I mean, I feel like it went through several phases of acceptance and different ways that the mainstream was taking it. But now I feel like it's a very unique time. Because, like, for instance, we had Taylor Schilling in here from Orange is the New Black.
Yeah.
And she's working on I mean, you guys must know, she's working on a movie that you guys were involved in. And, I mean, she came in, and I just kind of started talking to her about it just to see if it was like one of those movies where obviously this is based on Juggalos, but we're not mentioning anything about the ICP, as opposed to, no, we're actually getting into it. And she knew everything.
Yeah, they're doing it at the actual event this year, right?
Yeah,
the
Gathering.
She wasn't
remade a Gathering.
Yeah, in Atlanta.
Georgia.
Yeah, in Atlanta. Because they're doing a movie. Yeah,
it was a gathering.
Fly
tents everywhere. They had, the Ferris rides. I mean, the amusement rides. They had thousands of people. It was insane, man. It looked just like the Gathering.
Oh, they recreated it.
They recreated it. I mean, it was the Gathering, though.
Which has got to be crazy for something you guys like just kind of put together, because you're like, well, if we're not going to be accepted, we'll just create it ourselves.
We're just put together like that. But
right,
it's not something we just whip together. That's a lot of fucking work, man.
There was, but to answer your question, is it surprising?
Yeah.
Every day of my life, I can speak for me, it's
he's
overwhelming.
Same
every
shit.
day.
You're
Every
right.
single day.
Because we didn't start when we first started back, you know what I'm saying, late 80s, early 90s, we didn't intend for this to happen. We just wanted to be rappers. That was it. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I mean, every day you wake up, you're like, what the fuck?
Like, how are we so lucky?
It's crazy.
And how are we so like, it's also, feels like an enormous amount of responsibility. When people are saying your music saved my life, being a juggalo saved my life, and they mean it. It's overwhelming.
Have you guys? Have you changed at all? Because you look like healthier. You lost a lot of weight, and as you guys are so successful, you got money. Everything is great. Does it become harder to kind of have like an aggressive or angry? Don't you find that the mentality changes?
Like there's less to be mad about.
Question.
Yeah,
that's a bomb-ass question.
And it was
what a great question.
And it was all
Seriously.
Yeah, because I mean, when you're younger in your career, you got all this anger and shit.
Yeah,
like,
you're fresh off the streets. Nothing's going your way. There's a lot of anger that we feel. In today's anger is it's hard to be as angry when we've been showered by love for the last 20 years the way we have. I mean, love, like immense amounts of love. Juggalos love you. And to have that sort of warmth around you every night is it's hard to be as bitter about life, for us. But looking at things on a bigger picture, not using our own stories and using the stories of life and others and using that anger you can tap into it easily.
So you can tap into anger about things that are happening to other people or the things that are in the world that have nothing to do with your.
That's right.
Yeah.
And as you know, having success is great, but nobody can escape, no matter how much success, nobody can escape the trials and tribulations of being human, of having emotions, having anger, depression, everything, every kind of emotion. Like, we all go through it. Your problems change. You might not have trouble paying the bills, but you have trouble paying bigger bills. You have trouble paying.
Right.
Every sort of these emotions, there's no escaping these emotions. You're going to have them no matter what you're doing.
What sparked you to lose the weight? Did you have a moment of clarity where you're like, man, I just want to...
Yeah, I look good, right?
You look terrific.
I was just like, I got to do it.
I think why I did it was my knee snapped, my meniscus, and I got it surgically fixed, and it snapped again, And there's no way to fix it until I lost the weight, so I started trying to lose the weight, and then once I started eating different, I said, let's take the whole concept of food, the whole concept of it, and that's a pretty big concept, and delete it, And it took me forever, but I think I was able to successfully, at this stage, delete the whole idea of food. Instead of thinking about, when people are on a diet, they think about what they're going to eat all day, and they think about what they're going to have, and just take the whole concept of eating and just pitch it. You look great too, by the way.
Thank you. I got sick and tired of women only fucking me for money. I'm like, once in a while they have to enjoy it. So I'm like, I had to do something because I just couldn't take that look anymore. That you know.
I know that look very well. So, believe me.
So what do you do? Do you just? You can't not eat.
No, I wish I had something heroic to say. I don't. Never worked out except for concerts. I didn't do shit. I stopped eating. I still eat shit. I just eat very small amounts. If you want to diet and starve yourself, when you do eat, your stomach's smaller from being so hungry, so you get filled up real quick. Just don't keep stuffing food down your face like I used to. I just stopped, and just barely enough to get by.
Why are people so scared? We have to wrap shortly. We appreciate having you guys at all. Why are people so scared of your fans? I've done the gathering twice, and they can be aggressive and they yell a little bit, but they're nice. They were all friendly. I didn't feel any shitty vibes from anybody. There was no physical aggression, threats walking among them. Why did they have this? People afraid of them?
Man, it's insane.
If we knew, man,
it's a what's happening to us has never happened to any group in music history, rock and roll history. Never. It's one thing to make fun of a band. That's cool. We understand it. We get it. We know why we're made fun of. We're different. We got clown paint on, for crying out loud. But to technically make it arguable that it's against the law to be a juggalo, because for the juggalos, for the FBI in 2011 to put juggalos on the gang list, the top 10 gang assessment list, the only year this list ever came out was 2011. And to say juggalos are a gang with the Crips, the Bloods, MS-13, Aryan Nation, all that shit, and label juggalos on there with them, top 10, and make it official like that.
Yeah.
And now there's penalties to being a gang member in this country. If you get popped for a bag of weed, you're getting a stiffer sentence if you're a gang member in the eyes of the government.
If you have a hatchet man tattooed on you,
that's right.
All of a sudden, this is a gang.
And it goes all the way up from a bag of weed to custody battle. Your spouse is fighting you for custody of your children, and her or his attorney is able to say, Your Honor, this is a gang member in the eyes of the law. And it's true. It's on a database, and it's true because you're a fucking juggalo.
Do you think that the FBI, in a way, was being politically correct, trying to say, okay, well, this is a white gang, we can say, because we have MS-13 or we have the Crips, we have the Bloods. We don't want it to seem like we're only targeting one group.
No,
hey, these guys.
Aryan Brotherhood is also
Oh,
on there.
Aryan Brotherhood. Yeah, those guys are not exactly, they're white.
Right.
Okay, there goes that theory.
Mostly.
So it's just because there's a lot of them. It's because you guys what they see is control a lot of people through the music, and they're like, it's got to be a gang.
There's certain
little
things.
towns are getting paid saying they have a gang from the government to combat their gang problem. Say these little suburban kids running around.
So they get more funding to fight the
problem.
problem.
These loiterers, these people loitering and stuff, you know what I'm saying? So,
there's 6 juggalos at a park having a barbecue. Maybe 4 of them got misdemeanor charges on their record, and they're all wearing the same thing, and they're all rocking this logo. It's easy for the police to make the argument that that's a gang. They know it's not a gang. But when it comes to getting that government funding, it's suddenly an official gang.
Those town troublemakers, So yeah. So
and I don't even know if
they're a gang, they get money.
I don't even know if the police cashing in on this gang thing understood exactly what would become of this, because those seeds that were planted in 2011 with that gang list have grown since then, and now It's insane. There was a woman who was a probation officer for 15 years. And on her walking papers, it said, you're being let go because we found out on your Facebook you're a juggalo. This is real. This
They
is
see a
documented.
picture of her wearing paint, the clown paint on her Facebook.
And she
in
was fired
fucking
for it.
Canada.
You know, nothing wrong with
Just-
her work performance.
But they now can classify her as a gang member.
That's right. Gang member as a
never-
probation officer.
Are you
It's
guys-
never easy for the Insane Clown Posse. There's always something following
That's-
you
that
guys
always
around.
has been.
Oh, that's
Damn.
the people. Make it hard for ICP. We get it. But the people, I mean, we've sold 8 million records.
Right.
You're going to punish them now?
Don't
Yeah.
fuck with the fans.
Right. I mean, that's insane. I mean, like, if they get it, you're not a juggler, you don't like ICP, fine. Cool, we get it. But really, is it cool that they do this to us? Who's next? What if it's the listeners of this show?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, what is next? And who's who to say this is not right? Like, how you gonna take our whole legacy, everything we built, all the years we've been doing this, all the thing our people are proud of us for, and then staple a negative on it? It's too bad this is here.
Well, there's
It's a shame this is here.
Are you guys? We have to wrap with you,
Yeah.
but they're saying you have other press to do. We would talk to you guys for an hour. Are you guys promoting? Are you doing some kind of a walk, or what are you guys
doing a march on
Juggalo
March. We want to
This
promote that
Saturday.
properly.
The
this
National
Saturday
Mall.
with the National Mall in DC.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
What time do people have to be there?
2:00 is when it starts.
2
Yep.
o'clock. That's going to be an amazing event. I wish I was in DC. I would love to go to that.
Yeah, we support it. No Juggahos here. We support
Hell
the
yeah, brother.
Juggalos. Yeah.
I'll tell you this, though. I know it sounds preposterous, but yes, what we're saying is true. It's real shit.
Right.
It's hard to believe. We've been in a lot of beefs in our career, and they're fun. This isn't fun. I don't know how this is going to end.
This is a necessary thing to try to make a statement about who your fans are and who they're not.
And that's why we appreciate you, brother, letting us be on this show, letting everybody hear our argument right here. This is the point of the march. We want to let the people of this nation know we're not okay with it. We know the government ain't going to stand up and say, hey, we just want to clarify. They don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They
You know
don't
what
want
I'm
to admit
saying?
they were wrong.
Exactly.
They
They
won't
don't want to
admit it.
look like they're even admitting that.
Right.
So they're not going to do shit or say shit, you know? But as long as the people of the nation know we're not okay with it, and it takes more than the band, it takes the actual people, the juggalos, to march. That's why we're doing it. It looks like a publicity stunt. Sure, we get that. But it is a publicity stunt to generate publicity for what the fuck is happening to us, man.
And
This
not-
is
not to sell
legitimate.
records, right?
Even if you're not an ICP fan, this is legit that the fans of a group can be targeted just for gathering and getting together. And I've been to these gatherings. I've never seen anything other than people just drinking and having a good time and yelling. Never an issue. And even on stage, I've never felt menaced once by anybody there. So go and support this. Just
Yes.
because if it's not these guys, it's going to be a band that you like and that you
That's
support.
right.
And
Who
it's,
knows what's next?
to call the Juggalos a gang is simply fucking ludicrous. So we love you guys, man. Thank you for
Thank
at least
you,
making
Jim.
a few
Thank you,
minutes.
man.
brother.